enjoyed your holidays. Welcome to episode 100, part 1 of Africa's premier sports video podcast, the 3 Quarters Podcast. As usual, we'd like to remind you to jump onto the hashtag 3QP to tell us what you'd like to see on the show. Tell us what your sporting interests are. I'm Demima Duffield.
And I'm Ngara Kamuya.
So, episode 100.
Yeah.
100, like that, it's been a long time coming.
What we've been looking forward to, yeah. I mean, 2 years, going into 3 years of doing this, and finally at episode 100. And I think on behalf of 3 Quarters Podcast, all we can do is thank our followers for being with us for 100 episodes.
Yep, ASANTENI SANA.
Yeah.
So this week, well, obviously we were on a break for Kenya Cup.
Yeah.
So we're talking about basically a recap of the 2018-2019 season.
Yes.
You know, the positives that we've seen and the negatives that we've seen.
Yeah.
Also, you know, update people on what's been going on and what to expect next weekend.
Yeah.
So a positive for me is, definitely the fact that Bamba Sport came on board. That's always going to be a good point, for the sport. On the flip side, a negative is now, if you want to broadcast, rugby as any other media house, you've got to go through them. So what are some of the positives for you?
Of course, as you're saying, the Bamba Sport deal is a very good deal because it helps market the game and get the game to people out there. I mean, the guys who are unable to attend the game on the day then can be able to watch via Bamba Sports. But as you say, on the flip side, a negative is the fact that there was that letter that was circulated towards the end of last year by the Kenya Rugby Union stating that anyone who wanted to broadcast these games or do whatever they're going to do from a media standpoint of these games, kind of what Ice Guys are doing, had to go through Bamba Sports. I've just been seeing chatter, I'm not too sure about it, but somebody from the union did confirm that that's not the position. You can still go and shoot if you want to shoot. But if it is a position, I think it's not good for the game. Nowhere, even in Western countries, nowhere does somebody have the exclusive rights. People have different media entities have rights, to televise these games. And even from a commercial standpoint, it's nonsense if you ask me, because then you just lock yourself to Bamba Sports. You lock yourself out from getting money from elsewhere or exposure from elsewhere. So if indeed it's an exclusive deal that bars any other media house from televising or picking up footage or collecting footage of these games, it's a bad move. But we'll proceed as we know, and the communication we saw on some social media, where some union officials stated that if you can still go ahead and collect footage. So Bamba Sports is one of them. The positives I look at from the game itself is while it's been happening for a while now. I mean, Cabra's Sugar did have a foreign coach before, Mark Bishop. But it's good to see that they have another foreign coach in play, Henry du Plessis, and we can see the expertise and what he brings to Cabras, because Cabras, by far, are the guys to beat. They're walloping everyone they're coming into contact with. Excuse the pun, but yeah, they are dealing, with everyone that they're coming into contact with, and it just goes to show, 15s rugby is a technical sport. And the likes of Henry du Plessis, the caliber of such coaches is that they have been in the rugby system from scratch. Unfortunately for Kenya, we just pick it up in high school. So from a technical standpoint, he's able to bring in some stuff that we are not exposed to in Kenya. And if he comes here and he has a successful stint, it can only open up spaces for more foreign coaches who can, impact from a technical standpoint on the game at large. I think about the resurgence of Nondis.
Yes, I was going to say that. I was waiting for that little, to slip it in. It's good to see them, playing well.
It's good to see them playing well. I mean, albeit 3 games. They think they lost their last 2 games, but they beat KCB, and they were very dominant in the scrum. So it's good to see Nondis coming back into play. And I'll go back to say, actually, same time last year, I did say that with the structures that Nondis are setting up with the Nondis Rugby Limited and everything, it is just a matter of time before Nondis go back to where they used to be. Guys forget that the most successful team in Kenya Cup. So it's just a matter of time before they go back to the upper echelons of the sport. On the flip side, I haven't been particularly impressed by KCB. primarily because of the dominance we saw in the previous season, in the 2017-2018 season. Everyone thought they were going, to capitalize on that. And then there was the fact, I mean, look, I'm not hating. I'm just saying the fact that they went to South Africa, that camp should have been something positive for them.
Yep.
But we are not seeing that yet. I mean, they lost to Nondis, like we've just said, and even their wins haven't been that convincing in the first 5 or so games of the Kenya Cup. So that's what has disappointed me just yet. But look, it's a league, and then knockout stages, and KCB know how to mesh.
Yep.
They play the league well, and they play the knockout stage as well. So I hope that they build on what we've seen in the first half. I mean, we have to also accept the fact that a lot of their stalwarts did not feature in the first 5 weeks because, I mean, a large number of them were with Kenya at the repechage. So that's what I've seen so far. I don't know about you.
Well, just one thing that I know I saw is the fact that newly promoted teams, Menengai Oilers and Mean Machine, are actually doing quite well. They're not right at the bottom.
Yeah.
I believe Strathmore is below them on the table, and it's good to see them, actually sort of giving teams a run for their money.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see, I look forward to seeing what else they've got in store for us going forward.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Oilers versus Mwamba, and they were no pushover, really.
True.
So it's good to see that. I mean, that means that the game is growing, the game is expanding.
Yeah.
Your so-called small teams are no longer as small.
Yes.
If you're coming into Kenya Cup and you're actually giving teams a run for their money, that's good.
It is good, and I mean, especially Oilers.
Yes.
I mean, Oilers beat Queens at home.
Yep.
That is in Nakuru. Then they came here. I mean, they played against Mwamba, and they really pushed Mwamba to the last minute. So, as you're saying, it's only good for the game that you can see that the game is growing, and you can see small teams like Oilers, Machine also no pushover. They've just recently been promoted back into Kenya Cup. So it's been an interesting first 5 weeks, but I'm curious as to how the rest of the season plays out.
Yep.
But that's sport. I mean, you just wait and see what happens as the months progress.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've got, I've got the log.
Yes.
So we'll run through it, for anyone who missed out on this, before the holidays
Yes.
and before our holiday editions.
Yes.
So at the top we've got Cabras, as you said, they're doing very well. Then we've got KCB, Impala, Quins, Nondis, and Nakuru. Those are the top 6. Bottom 6 are Mwamba, Homeboys.
Yeah.
That I think is a surprise to most people.
Yes.
And then Black Blood, Oilers, Machine, and Strathmore right at the bottom. My beloved Strathmore. I'm waiting for when they'll start climbing back. I hope that'll be soon.
Yes.
But match day 6, which will be this coming weekend.
Yes.
We've got KCB versus Machine, Homeboys versus Black Blood, Harlequins versus Nakuru, Cabras versus Oilers, Strath versus Mwamba, and our feature game is Impala versus Nondis.
Yes.
So guys, come and watch, of course.
Yeah.
But how do you think these games are going to go, just before we finish?
So KCB versus Machine. KCB, of course. Next game is
next one is Homeboys versus Black Blood.
Homeboys versus Black Blood. Homeboys is going to win.
Queens Nakuru.
Queens Nakuru. Of course, I'm going to side with Queens.
Go Nakuru. Then we've got Cabras versus Oilers.
Cabras.
No question.
Too strong
And then Strathmore versus Mwamba. Yep.
Yeah,
and Impala versus Nondis.
This one is like this.
Yeah.
Impala versus Nondis. You know what? I'll actually side with Nondis on this one.
Okay.
I'll back Nondis for this one. I've watched 1 or 2 of their games, and I like the way they're playing.
Yep.
So I'll back Nondis on this one.
Ooh, I will wait to see on the day.
Yeah.
We've got a few players who are on loan at Impala.
Yes.
For a while.
Yes.
So let's see how that game goes. Guys, remember, show up. Watch your teams, support your teams. Support rugby in Kenya. Come, pay, watch,
Yep, that's true.
That's all we have time for. But guys, remember, you can find us on social media. That is by following us on Instagram, liking our page on Facebook, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. I'm Timmy Duffield.
And I'm Nora Kamuya.
See you in part 2.